Hey, good morning everybody and welcome to my channel. So today I am working on trimming down my flying geese that we created. I'm sorry there's a shadow. Let me see if I can help with that. I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped any, but I am working on trimming down the flying geese that we worked on, or that I worked on, and I'm just sharing this project. And I have this ruler, a flying geese ruler. Now, there is quite a bit of waste with me doing this, but you know what? This fabric was being wasted just being up on the shelf and never being used. So what I'm trying to do is just line the ruler up down here at the bottom and make sure it's as even as I can get it at the top. And sometimes you kind of have to be a little fiddly with it, or as straight at the top I want. But there is, like I said, a bit of waste. And I didn't realize what I was going to be doing with these, or I would have left them the size that they are. So that is where I'm at in the process of this. Dutchman's puzzle. And if you hear my embroidery machine going over there, I am working on my new curtains. I have the embroidery machine going while I am trimming down my flying geese. So I'll do one more for you, and then I'll pause this video and I'll trim all these down, and then we'll start putting our blocks together. Yes, I'm excited to get this quilt made. I just recently made a trip to Marshall's up in Batesville, if you live close, and got another big roll of batting because I was completely out, like I had none. And so yeah, I'm ready to make my quilt. All right, there we go. And like I said, this is the waist that I have. And you could actually save these. They're very, very stretchy because they've been on the bias, but they would make really good stems or something. I may end up saving these. I don't know. I already have enough scraps. I mean, like I have a ton. All right, so I'm gonna finish cutting these and working on the embroidery machine, and I will be back as soon as I'm done. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and this is Acorn Cottage, and excuse Charlie for getting in. He just has to be the star of the show, don't you, Charlie Bug? See, I'm wanting nubbins from my mommy. I'm wanting nubbins. Mwah. You're gonna have to go down and go to your chair or your basket. Yeah. So Charlie Bug, as you can see, is doing fantastic after his surgery. Yes, he is. He's Mama's little man. Yes, him is. So, yes, I know I love you. All right, so I have all of my geese are now trimmed. It took me a couple of hours to trim all of the geese, and now I am sewing them together in tubes. So that's what we need in order to do our Dutchman's puzzle block, which you can see right behind me. We just need them in pairs. So however you want to sew them together is totally up to you. I'm going to be sewing on my Juki because if you can hear in the background, my embroidery machine is busy making my curtains. I cannot wait to show you guys my curtains. So I'm gonna get busy, get to sewing. I'm probably gonna cut some of this out or speed it up really, really fast because I mean, it's kind of boring. I'm just sewing together pairs of geese. So, and Charlie Bug is gonna help me. Mwah! Isn't that right, big guy? Isn't that right, big guy? My little helper. Oh gosh, but yeah, he's doing fantastic. And I was so worried about him there for a while after his surgery, but he is doing fantastic, and he's such a little love bug. Yes, him is. Him's such a little love bug. All right, guys, let's get started. I'm gonna put Charlie Bug down. All right, Charlie Bug. There you go, big boy. That's my big boy. And I seem to have a lot of blue geese. Come up here. You can come behind me. There's plenty of room here. I'll scoot up. I seem to have a lot of blue geese and a lot of cheddar. So, and and the white or cream, whatever color you want to call it. And I'm going to be stopping every so often to change the embroidery machine over. I have 3 more curtains to do. I got to remake one of them, which is no big deal and won't take just a few minutes, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. And I'm not pinning because these I was very careful with my cutting, so I'm not pinning. Hold on 1 minute, I gotta go grab my cup of tea. Okay, cup of tea has been gotten. Honey, chamomile, and vanilla. Yum, I love tea. So I'm just gonna set that right there and let it steep for a few minutes while I am sewing. And we can chit chat away. So I hope, and I'm trying not to, like this is a small polka dot. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. That's a small polka dot. So I'm trying not to put 2 of the same kind together. If I do, you know, when we get down to the end, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. No big deal. You know, no big deal. I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm just sewing the squares together. And I'm making sure right here, if you can see where those 2 lines, there's a cross right there. I want to make sure that I'm on this side of that cross, and that way I don't lose my point. Some of these I have more room than I do on others because, you know, I trimmed quite a bit off of some, not so much on others when I was trimming them down to size. I have a good bit of scraps left over, and I have an idea to use for those scraps. I am going to make Charlie Bug and Grayson a bed. I'm going to use all of my little bitty scraps that would otherwise go into the trash. So as soon as I get enough gathered up, and Charlie's laying in them. I don't know if you can't see him the way it's point. He's actually up there laying in them. So it's a good thing it's going to be theirs anyway. So Charlie Bug, let me see if I can swing you around where you can see Charlie Bug. Let's see. There he is. He's laying in the pile of scraps that I am going to be using to make their bed. I'm going to see if I can scoot y'all a little further back so you can, oh, almost knocked it off. So you can actually see me sewing. You might want to see me sewing. You might not want to see me sewing. I don't know. But this is my Juki. It's a straight stitch only machine, and I really, really do like her. She sews a beautiful stitch, and it's a fabulous machine. It really is. It is a fabulous machine. She's making a little clunky noise, like the needle's hitting something, but it shouldn't be. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Because I switch back and forth between my machines, and you know, they both sound different, and then I get all paranoid. And she's been oiled, and I clean her, change the needle. This is how I do things. You can do, maintenance on your machine is the life of your machine. Always do your cleaning, change your needles. Needles are cheap, throw them things away. I wind up 3 bobbins, and at the end, and I keep my little stack on my extra spool thing right back here. And after I run out of 3 bobbins, I give my machine a really good cleaning, and I oil it and change the needle every 3 bobbins. And I learned that, actually, I do believe, from Leah Day. That's the way she takes care of her machines. And I have next to 0 trouble with any of my machines because I do keep them maintained. That is the life of your machine, is maintenance, keeping them oiled. On my Bernina, I have to oil her depending on how much I'm using her. Like today, a lot. So she gets oiled. I've oiled her this morning before I started. Then I stopped a little bit ago because I ran out of bobbin. Because I mean, she's got big bobbins. So I cleaned what I could because I was in the middle of an embroidery. So I cleaned what I could, oiled her up, and put her back to sewing. This little guy, the Juki, I oil it every day when I sit down to sew. It gets oiled. just 2 drops of oil before I start for the day, because I do sew a lot, and I do mean a lot. So I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna have to go to pinning, guys. I just noticed something that I'm doing, and that's gonna make, let's see what it looks like on this one. Well, I can get it around. Okay, it's not off there, but that one's going to be off. Oh, how would y'all like to do a sew along? Maybe we could do, I'm a huge Lori Holt fan. So what do you guys think about doing a sew along? I have several of her books. I think I'm going to grab my pens. I do have several of her books. I have The Scrappiness is Happening, and I have Farm Girl Vintage and Farm Girl Vintage 2, and I love them. I love both. I love all of the books. And I have Prim, and I have, can't remember what else. I think I have another 1 or 2 of her books. And I have the templates for the star quilt that she did. And I have the templates for Be Vintage. I do believe it's Be Vintage. And I want to do the Be Vintage quilt. So are any of y'all interested in doing a sew along with me on one of Lori Holt's quilts? If you are, just let me know, and we shall do that. I think I'm gonna pair a lot. I like cheddar and blue. I love cheddar and blue. So I'm gonna pair a lot of these cheddar and blue together. And yep, we're just gonna go from there. So I'm just gonna carry on about my business, and I will join you back here when I have all of these pairs sewn together. So let me sew, and then we'll continue to build our block from there. All right, see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I have a whole bunch pinned up and ready to stitch. So I still have a few more to put together. I like to do that. I'm a pinner. I like to pin. So, and I pin up a whole bunch at one time, and then I sew all of them, and then I'll pin up the remaining few and sew those. That's just how I do it. You know, my way is not the highway. By no means my way is not the highway. But I do like to pin. I find that my seams are much more accurate, and I have less problems putting my block together if I pin, because I'm more accurate. And I am so envious of all of you out there who don't pin and your blocks turn out perfect every time. Not me. Not me. So, it's a beautiful day here in Arkansas. If you don't live in the great natural state of Arkansas, it is beautiful. It's cool. We finally have those fall temps, which I think most of us were ready for. I know I was ready for. So, I'll be crying I'm cold later, this winter when it gets really cold. I'm going to stitch away and let this record. I'm going to turn back on, I'm watching Star Trek The Next Generation, or listening to it, that is. And I'm going to take the sound off the rest of this video, and I'll, if I have anything to say, I'll put something in, or I'll speak up or cut it in or something. I'll figure it out. I'm figuring out all this stuff. I am. Okay. So I'm back. I have finished sewing all of my pieces together, and our little twosies, and now I'm going through and cutting them apart, ready to press them. And I subscribe to the Sew Sampler box from the Fat Quarter Shop. And this little gizmo came in one of our boxes. And it's fantastic for when you're chain piecing to cut your items apart. It has a replaceable razor blade in it. You just take the back off of it. You can replace the razor blade. I haven't had to do that yet, but the struggle I had just a moment ago, I probably need to do that. And so we'll cut these apart, and then we're going to go to the ironing board. And I haven't decided if I'm going, oh, and I had to clean my machine. So if y'all are interested in how I do maintenance on my machine, y'all let me know. Or machines. It's basically the same maintenance. It doesn't matter which machine it is. It's basically the same thing. Oh, guess what? I just found two that aren't sewn together. So I ran out of bobbin thread and sewed for a while with no bobbin. So how many of you have ever done that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And Charlie Bug is awake and roaming around and whining. What you whining about, buddy, buddy? What? Did you hear? What? What you whining about, buddy, buddy? Tomorrow, I really need to plant some mums. We and Jimmy, my husband, went to Lowe's last night, and they had some beautiful yellow mums for half off, 50% off, and I got 4 of them for $3 and something a piece. So, and they're so pretty, and I need to get those in the ground tomorrow. So sewing might be a little delayed tomorrow while I get those planted. And then next weekend, I lack 2 rooms, having my house completely repainted on the interior. We don't have to paint the exterior. It's brick and vinyl siding, so I don't have to worry about the exterior. And I would like to get the painting done before my vacation time coming up. I'm going to be off quite a bit in November and December. So instead of spending my vacation time working my booty off, I would like to spend my vacation time making videos. And I have to buy a new overhead thing because I broke mine earlier. It's fabulous. It's really, really stiff, but I broke it. I don't know if my dad can fix it. I'm gonna see if Daddy can fix it before I buy another one. So yes, in between the time that I paused the video and now, I cooked dinner, folded some clothes. I actually put the laundry in the dryer today. It's pretty cool here, and I didn't think that they would dry out on the line, so I actually put them in the dryer today. All right, guys, so now we're ready to go to the ironing board. Let me move you and get you set up over there, and I'll show you how I'm going to press these. I'm trying to decide if I want to press the seams open or not. That's what I'm trying to decide, because I do have some here already done, and when we put it together, it's not like oh, there's 2 that I've got to take apart. So it's not like there's seams to match. So I'm probably not going to press the seams open. I'm probably going to just press them, because there's no matching, there's no intersecting seams in this particular pattern until you get to the middle. The middle is the only part that has an intersect. So we'll think about it. We'll figure out what we're gonna do. But meanwhile, let me move you and get you set up, and we're gonna iron these little precious babies. Okay, so now we are ready to press our twosies. That's what we have. So I kind of look at the way the fabric wants to go. Like this one wants to be pressed up. So that's the way I'm going to press this one. Let me turn my steam off. I do not want any steam. Sometimes I use steam, sometimes I do not. I use steam for like fabric prep, but not when I'm piecing my blocks, because steam tends to distort your block. And I also use a quilter's clapper once to help, it really helps to pull the heat out of the block, and it keeps your blocks nice and flat. This is one of the ones that I took apart, so I'm just pulling off the extra. And I'm not stretching, I'm just holding. So we are going to press all of these. And then we will start putting our block together. Yay! Yay! All right, so there is my phone, of course. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. That was my daughter. My phone has rang off the hook today. Both of my kids have called today. Well, I actually have 4 children. I have 2 stepchildren and then 2 biological children. I haven't heard from the stepchildren today. But my biological children have called me off and on. I've heard from them both today. Oh gosh. So after I get so many up under my pressing board, how about we call it a pressing board, I take those out. And the one thing that I do try to remember to do is to relax my seams. This is another one of those that I took apart. I just want to get all the spare little thread off of it, and all over myself while I'm doing it. So anyway, yeah, that was my kiddo. And then me and my husband, he came in and we went and had dinner because I had dinner done. So we went and ate right quick. It doesn't take long when you can only eat like 4 ounces. So it didn't take long. There we go. Like I said, I always try to set the seam. If you forget to set your seam, don't worry about it. It is no big deal. You don't have to worry about it. So it just helps the threads to relax in there. So if you remember, fine. If you don't, fine. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. So I'm hoping that, I don't know that y'all can really see what I'm doing. I may have to try moving you again. But it really does, having a pressing block really does work. You have such nice flat seams. I don't know what I did before I had one. My husband made me this one. I have several. I have a long skinny one, about 12 inches just for seams. But I use this one more than I use any of my other pressing boards. I really use it a lot. As you see, I forgot to set the seam on that one. It is at the end of the world. It's no big deal. So we're just going to get these all pressed. And I'm going to tell you, I love this iron. If you have not ever had an Aliso, I think I'm pronouncing it properly. I love it because a regular iron that sits up like this, I can't tell you how many times I have had to purchase irons because I knock them off. Yes, I knock them off. I do. So I really, really love this. I wanted one of these for years and years, and one of the Black Friday, it was last year's Black Friday sale. I just splurged and got me one, and I'm thinking about going ahead and getting me another one just to put back in case this one was to ever die on me. I have one. You want to make sure that you don't have any pleats or anything, that you have nice flat block. We want nice flat. That's what we're looking for. There we go. Okay, everybody, all my squares are now, or my little twosies are now pressed, and now it is time to lay them out. So I'm gonna try, I'm sorry, I'm having to use my iPad. So we want one of our twosies to go up. We want the other one to point towards the right. And then I'm just having to choose some out of my basket. I have a project basket that I put my projects in. And then you want one to point down. And then, let's see here, I'm trying to get some different colors. Let's see. I've got a lot of yellow in this one. And then the other one we want to point towards the left. We want our center to form a pinwheel. So remember, you start with up, to the right, facing down, and the other one to the left. So, and I'm going around because and then your center will need to form your pinwheel. So I think I'm going to change this one out because I'm going to change these two out because I have two yellows. Let's see what we have in here. Let's see. So I don't want, oh, here's a red and yellow. How about a red? Let's see. Facing up. There's a red and a yellow, and how about a white? Let me see what I have in this little stack. You really don't have to give this a whole lot of thought. I'm putting a whole lot of thought in it for whatever reason. Oh yeah, there we go. So now we have our windmill in the center. All right, so now we are going to sew these together in a 4-patch. I'm just sliding those two over, and then I am going to pin because I want my centers to match up. Let me pin this. And remember when I told y'all, if you watch the previous videos, I stitched some of these on another machine, and I hope that I don't run into problems, because that when you start a project on a machine, you should finish that project on that machine, because each machine stitches differently. A 1/4 of an inch on my Juki may not be a 1/4 of an inch on my Bernina. So it looks like, though, I'm going to work out. And I did start this on my Bernina. Well, I worked on this on my Bernina, but I can't remember the other machine that I actually did some piecing on as well. I don't remember. I've long since, I don't have that machine anymore. Was probably a Janome, if I had to guess. That is, I think, my biggest regret is I had a Janome 15,000, and I absolutely loved that machine, and I ended up selling it. I sold it because I had convinced myself, oh gosh, that I needed to, because I'd financed it, of course. And I had, got the latest updates and all that kind of stuff. It was updated to Janome Quilt Maker. And anyway, I had sold it to get the payment off of us. And to this day, I regret selling that. I do. I regret selling that machine. But I love my Bernina. I had always wanted a Bernina, and I have one now. I did finance it. No selling it. No selling it. So I will have it paid for before I retire, which is really, really great. And then I'll have my machine for when I retire. Okay, so now, and if you turn these like I turned these, because I don't think that this is the original way that I had it going on, It's okay as long as your pinwheel is in the center. As long as you have one up, one to the right, one down, and one to the left, you're gonna be okay. So let's put this together. Actually, I think it goes, anyway, we're good. It's fine. I wanted to put one together with you and show you all the mistakes that one can make when putting this together. And I see one of my kittens outside. Like I said, I'm a pinner. I think that it's important. And you may be one of those lucky people who can, you know, put your pieces of fabric together, run it under the presser foot, and it all turns out magnificent. That's not me. That is not me at all. And I do nest my seams because we do have quite a bit of bulk. If you did want to press your seams open to reduce that bulk in the center, that would be an excellent idea. I did not do that. Okay. Make those line up. There we go. Open it up, and there we have it. There we have our Dutchman's puzzle. So I am going to call it a night right here. I think I'm gonna press this, and we will meet back here tomorrow, and we're gonna stitch some more of these together, and we're gonna decide how we're gonna lay it out. I'm thinking about just joining them block to block. I think it would make a secondary pattern. I don't know. We'll see how we're going to do that. We'll decide. I don't have a design wall. I don't have room in here for a design wall, but we're gonna figure out how we're gonna put this beauty together after we get all our block stitch. I don't know that we'll get all our block stitch tomorrow, but we're gonna give it a good go. Anyway, all right. So have a great night, and I will see you later.